Welcome to What Are You Sporting About podcast, a podcast about business, employment, sports, and entertainment to help educate, support, and guide you to your next level. Here's your host, attorney Sivonnia DeBarros.
Hi guys, Sivonnia DeBarros here, protector of athletes, and today I have the opportunity to interview Ms. Christian Ross with Upnext Sports Consulting. So what's going on, Chris?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me. I am blessed to be here talking with you. I'm just excited.
I'm doing great too. Thank you for asking. It's a pleasure to have you on this platform. So you've created a consulting firm. So tell us a little bit about that first.
Okay, so my consulting firm is called Upnext Sports Consulting, and what we do is really help athletes to get to that success that they've been wanting throughout the course of their career. So we not only focus on the sports aspect, we also focus on the branding and the marketing, and also if they have any like businesses, they want to business ventures that they want to start, we pretty much help them with that as well. And also we do sporting events, and we also do pretty much anything with branding, marketing, PR work, and just helping those athletes get to where they need to be in their career, not only on the field or on the court, and also off the court as well.
And you are a former professional athlete as well, right?
Yes, ma'am, I am. I played in Puerto Rico.
Oh, nice. Okay, yes. So is that one of the driving forces that led you to create Upnext Sports Consulting?
Well, the thing that drove me to really start the firm with my business partner, because when I was younger, I really didn't have that help that I needed to get to where I wanted to be. And so I kind of let my career faded away because I really didn't know who to reach out, who to contact, or anything of that nature. So with this firm, it's really giving these young athletes, we focus on young and pro, but we really love dealing with the younger athletes because we think we can really help them to get to where they need to be in their career, because everybody needs that guidance, everybody needs that help. And so That's why we pretty much came up with the sports consulting firm.
One of the things that you said is that, you're kind of trying to fill a gap where you didn't have the support or knew where to go and find certain resources to help you along the way, which is a similar narrative among a lot of African-American people, and especially African-American people who are also successful. Yes. Same situation with me, first generation lawyer, first generation law business owner, and didn't know anyone who did it first in my family, and it does create some hurdles. I'm trying not to say roadblocks, because it could, in a way, you can feel like you're shut out of certain things if you absolutely have no idea how to even start. So this is amazing. So what are some things that you guys have been doing with Upnext Sports to, I guess, in a sense, be able to provide that particular mentorship and guidance to young athletes and older people to absolutely help them to bring whatever dream it is that they have to fruition, which does not really involve sports or may not involve sports?
So with me and my business partner, we pretty much, so how we started was we both have our own nonprofit. So this is how it all ties into what we're doing. So we pretty much got our own nonprofit. Mine is called Life Beyond the Rim, that targets female student athletes that need that guidance to get to their next level in their career. So we teach them how to do branding using social media. And then we also teach them how to balance being a student and an athlete. And we also teach them the importance of having an education. And then my business partner, she focuses more on the academic side. And so with that, we kind of combined that, and we was like, hey, what can we do to really help, these athletes? And so we kind of came up with the idea of a sports consulting firm. We didn't know the name at first, but then we kind of like, okay, well, this can all tie together, because sometimes, you know, as an athlete, we just need that mentor or that helping hand to like bring certain stuff out of you. Like,
right.
Because like when I was playing basketball, all I wanted to do was play basketball. I didn't know if I could do business. I didn't know if I wanted to start my own business. I didn't know. I pretty much wanted to just play basketball. And so that's a lot of what athletes do. And so with our sports consulting firm, we not only want to help you on the court and get you on like playing somewhere, but we also want to help you to like understand like financial, like what do you want to do in the long run when you can't play anymore.
Correct.
And so that's where we come in as a consulting firm, because like we don't take clients that just want to play basketball. You gotta want to do something more than just play basketball. You gotta want to build a brand, or you want to start a business. Like, we want you to come to us and talk to us and let us help plan that for you while you're playing. So when you're done playing, you already have this in store. Like, you already know, like, okay, I have this business right now, so I'm done playing. So now let me, you know, focus on this now. So that's what a lot of athletes don't understand, or not understand, but they don't know that it's more than life than playing a sport.
Correct.
So I say LeBron James says it best, more than the athlete. Like, and I think that's something that we have to showcase. But it's like, and I think like it should be more consulting firms, like not only agents, because I feel like agents and consulting firms are two different things to me, because a consulting firm, like, we truly can help like focus on your brand versus agent. They just like, okay, you can play here, and then they have other people do everything else. Like, we pretty much want like a one-stop shop. Like, we're going to help you get somewhere, and we also going to help you with your business, your marketing, your branding, whatever you want to do.
And, you know, part of what you were saying, that Life Above the Rim, the services that you guys offer to help these student athletes, it's kind of also now in the realm of what they should be thinking about, especially if some of these student athletes are going to move up to the college level to play with the name, image, and likeness on the horizon. So you guys are already getting them set up to properly manage creating their own brand, operating it from an entrepreneurial standpoint, you know, from a business standpoint, but also making sure that they are managing their academics, which, you know, is the initial thing that they have to be focused on in order to even be eligible to play. So.
Exactly. And I feel that a lot of kids need that. They need that guidance, that consulting, that someone that is genuinely willing to help them, because I feel like a lot of kids get exploited these days, and then they get into things they don't necessarily understand or know. And then on top of that, their parents really don't know as well. And so that's why we, as a consulting firm, like when we get those kids that are interested in doing those things, we want to teach them, not only like help them, but we want to teach them as well. And just in case they want to venture off and, you know, figure it out on their own and do their own thing, but at least they know the information, and they can take that information in and just understand the importance of everything. Like, because I fear for a lot of these kids, because there's some talented kids out here. And a lot of people want to take advantage of them. And that's why I was like on the fence of the whole, like the brand, the likeness thing. I feel like it's a good thing because it can give them money. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been to college and I played basketball and I was broke. And we bringing in fans.
A lot of us was.
Yeah, and we bringing in fans, and we can't even like buy food, or we can't buy certain things. So I like that aspect, but I feel like also the other aspect is like, you know, people taking advantage of these kids, like, and just giving them all these deals and things of that nature and robbing them of their innocence, and they not understanding like contracts or anything like that. Because like I know at my firm, we're going to read the contract with you. We're going to make sure it's right. We're going to make sure you're not getting played. And that's why I'm like, I like the idea, but then again, like, I don't.
Yeah. And it's important. It's very important to, in a lot of situations, not just educate the athlete, but also educate the parents around whatever the issues are. Because so I participated in this summit over this past weekend. And one story that one of the speakers shared was that her adult athlete client could not read or write.
Oh, man.
He had masked it, so well, but something stuck out to her and she was just like, hold on, wait, what's going on? Simple things that he would ask her. And she's thinking to herself, well, this should be easy to decipher, and it turned out that he could not read or write. He was so great at what he did that people throughout his entire life
overlooked it,
put people in positions that can easily pass him, and it did a disservice to him in the long run, because now here you are, an adult person. I mean, it's a stigma. You don't want people to refer you as being dumb or stupid because you can't read. So you're not going to really ask for help. But she was able to call him out on it, not in a disrespectful way, but it was, I mean, that's an eye opener, like truly. And some of these kids, I wish I can say that maybe that was a once in a lifetime kind of story, but I mean, it happens all the time. And so when you get these athletes who are great, it's going to be so important that they understand not just the intricacies of an endorsement contract, but the most basic issues. Like, can you properly read and decipher what this stuff is?
Exactly. Because they have to understand you need to know these things, because you might not meet a genuine person that's going to be like, hey, okay, let's get through this together. Let's read it together and understand everything. You might just get somebody to just be like, oh, here, just sign this. Like, and you might be signing your life away. You don't know.
Exactly. You don't
know. So
I
really definitely think that kids need to understand the importance of knowing what you want to do, first of all, and just picking the right people to be in your circle. Like, not let no one dictate where your future want to head. Because it's a lot of people out here, pushing kids like, oh, you should just play. You should just play. You just play. Don't worry about nothing else. And when they get older, they don't know how to manage their money. They just blowing their money. They just doing all kind of stuff that is a disservice to them. So it's definitely something that
I totally agree. And I would even say, especially if someone like you can come on as a consulting firm, and you can piggyback on this, like, what would be one of the first things that you would say to a student athlete? I mean, I would probably suggest that, hey, remove the pride. Tell me exactly what you're having issues with, because once you remove that pride and you create a safe zone for them to really speak from the heart, it will allow you to come in easier to really start helping them where they most need it.
Exactly. And then that's one thing me and my business partner, we pride ourselves on, is helping people, because we both been in situations where, I'm saying, that we needed that help and we necessarily didn't go seek it.
Correct.
But as a person that loves helping people, and that's our passion, it's like, that's all we want to do. We want to help these kids. We want to make sure they're good. We want to make sure they understand. Like, we want to make sure that we let them know it's more to life than just sports. And a lot of athletes don't understand it. A lot of athletes understand it, because I remember talking to a kid, one of my kids actually, and they was a senior in high school, and they was basically like, they got hurt, and so they was like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I'm going to do without basketball. I don't know where I'm going to go. And, what I'm saying? I'm like, it's more than life than just playing sports. Like, You can be anything you want to be. Like, sports does not define you.
Right.
And so I just was like, okay, I'm going to help you figure it out. You know, I have a conversation with you to see where you want to, like, what you like, what you're interested in. You know, sometimes you just got to bring that out of kids because they necessarily don't know, because a lot of these kids, especially the ones that are like ranked and, you know, high profile kids, they are designed to only focus on sports.
Correct.
And
so they never really tried anything else.
Exactly. And when they get to the real world, it's like hard to deprogram them because that's all they want to do.
Right.
Like, so.
Right. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit because we know as women, it's already hard breaking through some of those walls.
You have no idea, girl. You have no idea, girl.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard. I actually had another person on the podcast talking about diversification.
Yes.
But then we also have to look at diversification in the sense of women, you know, and then we can go a step further and say Black women.
Yes. I was going to say not only women, but being a Black woman in sports. Like,
exactly. So what kind of hurdles have you faced being a woman in sports? And what have you been doing to, in your own way, close the gap?
Oh, sis, I got stories. Oh, my main problem when I first came on was, like, I came from a different background. I was like, just to be open and honest and transparent, I was like one of those models. Like, I was like a model necessarily, or like an IG model, you know, like somebody sexy. And so now my hurdle is like, I want to, you know, be seen in a different light. I want to be able to, you know, people, you know, to come to me and be like, oh yeah, she is about her business and she's about what she does. So I kind of overcame that gap of that. Okay. But it's still a little struggle because, you know, as being a woman, and if you're beautiful and you're pretty and you might be curvy, people gonna be like, probably give you that stigma of like what type of person you are, a type of woman you are. And so that's a lot, and that's a main thing when it comes to that. And I think the agent, what's her name, Agent Nicole, she kind of filled that gap because she's a pretty woman, you know what I'm saying? And people are starting to like notice us based off of her. Like, not just saying she's the only woman that has done it, but it's just like she's like the woman that, you know, had the third draft pick in the world, like as a agent. And she's a lawyer. And so it's just like, she's kind of paving the way for those women, and not those women, but just women in general.
And Black women.
Like, yeah. So it's like, I feel like now men are like, hey, I need a woman on my team. Like, they're actually looking at like women in sports and be like, oh, I need a woman on my team. I need to, you know, maybe, you know, get a woman as my agent, because I feel like women are more genuine than men.
Yeah. And I wouldn't even say just genuine. And this, maybe this is a biased recording because it's two women talking about this. But I generally feel like women are more in tune with what they're doing, more creative. You know, and we really put a lot of passion into what we do, generally, I think.
Exactly. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So I think it's a benefit to the clients, and especially any type of business, if you have a woman on your team who is detail oriented, who is passionate about what she does, who is of color, because not only that particular perspective also helps that woman to provide another layer of support to the people you service by being from their communities.
Exactly. You know? And I totally agree with you on that. I really think that our time is here, and it's not coming, it's here. Like, I done seen so many women in sports, and I'm just like, that's amazing. Like, that's great. I can't wait till I get to that level in my career. Or,
I know, right?
You know, I, follow women on Instagram. I also talk to other women that has been in the business and just get their insight and just, get some type of mentoring because, it's always good to keep learning. You know what I'm saying? I never want to stop learning. And so I feel like as a woman in sports, this is something that we definitely need to do. You know what I'm saying? Just to learn. Because I feel like, I'm telling you, I just feel like we is here and we ain't going nowhere. We is not going nowhere. So all these stigmas, like, men, I'm sorry to say this on the podcast, but men always got something to say about a woman, how she dressed, how she looks, how all these. And that doesn't even matter. Yeah. As long as she can hustle, long as she can know what she's doing, long as she has the passion, long as she gets her work done, long as she, so yeah, hey,
I know
it's
exactly
been a long journey for me.
And it's a long journey for a lot of us, but you are doing great things with Upnext Sports Consulting. Thank you. You're doing great things with your foundation, Above the Rim. And I love the passion that you're putting behind everything that you do. We do need more people out there who are not just, and I'm not going to say this, try not to say this the wrong way, but kind of like pickpocketers of athletes or future athletes and what they can make, but also thinking about them in a more holistic way to truly provide support that they need to help them be well-rounded individuals.
Right. And it's definitely needed. Like, you have no idea, because me being an athlete and knowing the inside of everything is just like, it's definitely needed for genuine, real, honest people that is, like you said, not pickpocketers, to really just generally help people. Right. And so, and I gotta say, the sports world is a dog-eat-dog world, and you gotta have that exterior, but you also gotta have a good heart at that. Like, and people would tell you like this, like, she about her business, she don't play, but when she's got a good heart, she's willing to help. Like, and I think that's something that is all needed, like, in the sports world.
Yeah, it's definitely necessary, and that's for sure. Well, I want to thank you again for coming on to talk with me about who Christian Ross is and your organization with Upnext Sports. What's that?
I said I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. And I will be looking out to see all the great and the good and the awesomeness that you're putting out into the world. And can't wait to check in with you again.
Yes, definitely stay in touch, girl, because we
sure
definitely
will
network and connect, because I don't know any lawyers. And
well, now you do.
Hey,
now you do.
Yes, it's definitely something that's needed when you having a firm. So
yeah, it is. Well, thank you so much, Christian. It was great talking. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining us this week on What Are You Sporting About podcast. Make sure to visit our website, prosportlawyer.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever your favorite platform is, so you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes or iHeartRadio. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like the show, you might want to check out our book, What Are You Sporting About? Attorney Sivonnia DeBarros is available for private consulting at sldebarros.com. And remember, we're here to educate, support, and guide you in your journey to success, because we're all sporting about something.